You know when somebody has really mistreated you and you confront them on it, and they ask you, "Okay, well, tell me what I've done wrong. When did I lie?" And all of a sudden you seize up and you think, there's so many, and I don't know what, and I can't. You're pressing me for details. That's how I feel right now about the Texans offense. So many things, so many issues. So many promises made by me myself about what this team might look like, even if the offense struggled, where I thought they would make some progress, and it's all trickling down the side of an old man's leg, like he can't control his bladder. So I picked 13 plays here. Some good, mostly by the defense, some good by the offense. Nico Collins ends up with 8 receptions for 104 yards. With one really, really unfortunate occurrence at the end of the game. So I grabbed 13 plays, and we'll go through these. So at the very least, we can just sort things out as we go along. This one, first play, Nico Collins, boom. You know what? This was the physical toughness that you need. The first 3 quarters, it seemed like at times it was just Nico Collins being physically tough. Good job by CJ, scrambling under pressure, and just boom, Eric Murray up. Nope, you get the penalty too. Good. You know, they come down, you score. Did they score a field goal on that drive? No, they didn't. Or did they? That was the field goal drive. So, that was one of the few sparse moments. Will Anderson, sack here. Really good by Will, and it was a tough, gritty sack. I know that this is yet another day where I think the pass rush was better than maybe the sack totals would look. But if you look at Will Anderson down there at the bottom, the left defensive end, gets a chip, comes inside on an ET. He's got 2 guys on him, jacks the guard up, and boom. Good job, Will Anderson. I haven't heard about his injury or how he's feeling afterwards. And then, I mean, there was just so few good plays by either. Both of these offenses should be ashamed of themselves. Since everybody always asks about Travis Hunter, here's his one catch. And the reason I bring this up, if I'm going to have one complaint about the defense, which I will not. Last week the defense played. The last 2 weeks, the defense has played pretty well, but I just feel like a little bit beneath their standards. Today, by and large, they did everything they possibly could while faced with an offense that wasn't helping them out at all. The third quarter, tackling was an issue a little bit on this drive, but they did hold them to at least a field goal on this drive. So good for you, Travis Hunter, with your one catch on the day. This is where we'll get into the real good stuff. Ariante Ursary, left tackle. And I know this is the easy one to blame on this one, but it wasn't just him. It's 3rd and 13, so we find ourselves in the familiar position. I mean, Josh Hines, was that Josh Hines? Yeah, I mean, just gets around. But check on the interior as well, because this is a day where, remember, they had to just play some experiments at left guard and figure out, hey, what are we going to do? If you look at the right defensive tackle and the nose tackle next to him, nose tackle comes upfield, defensive tackle comes around. I mean, there's going to be a sack by either of those 2 guys at that point. So if we take a break here, let's see, this is number 4. The offensive line, I was hoping that you'd get, and the offensive line hasn't been the whole issue. Like I said, remember, you're pressing me for details. Offensive line, picking up blitzes individually at times, losing their one-on-ones. Ariante Ursary, he's going to struggle as a rookie, especially when he's going against some really good pass rushers. But as they pointed out on the broadcast, they're not doing much to help him out either. This is the problem, though. When they do help him out, if you keep one guy in, but nobody's getting open downfield, nobody's getting separation. And when there is, I mean, CJ doesn't feel comfortable enough in the pocket, or he's got people at his feet as he's throwing. I mean, there was that one incomplete pass in the first half where he fell down as he was launching the ball up because he had feet pressed into him. It's just a mess. It's a mess right now. I don't know if they're helping him out with their route concepts enough. Let's go to the 3rd and 1 stop. So the defense, this was the one that would end up being the missed field goal at the end of it. The run defense, by and large, on the day. Let's see, Tootin had 6 carries for 21 yards. ETN had 16 carries for 56 yards. I thought they hemmed up the rushing defense. For an offense that was the number 1 rushing offense in the league, defense gets a stop here on 3rd and 1. Defensive tackle's playing good. Is that Togiai in there? That's Togiai. They elevated Togiai to the roster after gushing about him all training camp long and talking about how he was the best guy on the team in terms of work ethic and everything. He's right there on the center. jacks him up, extension, throws. Good job, Togiai. Good job, everybody. And let's see. We'll get to, okay, fourth quarter. Started to open up in the fourth quarter of the Rams game. Fourth quarter this week, it started to open up. You get Nico over the middle, nice and quick. Good. We're moving, right? We're moving. And then I need you, the defensive backs in the room, to help me out on this one. Because I know that Archuleta was saying, that D'Amico or CJ kind of got fooled by the lurker there. Still, though, where's that ball land? If you watch him, he comes off of the outside, bails out like that, really gamed it right. Yeah, I mean, he baited him, and I don't know if it was underthrown or not. I mean, he was technically schemed up all right up there, but, oh, God. But don't worry, Jags fans. I didn't forget about you and your. Now this was just demonstrably a stupid decision and a bad throw. This was just dumb. And good job, Jalen Petrie. Oh, was that pass tipped? Somebody said that pass was tipped by CJ. I don't know if it was or not. I'm going back. No going back. We're close. D'Amico told me we're close. Nico touchdown. Boom. I just pulled these off the highlights. They didn't have to. So watch Nico at the top. Watch this double move. That was beautiful. You spend the whole game dinking and dunking, and it pays off at some point. Just a milquetoast, boring, non-threatening ass of a performance out of the offense. At least yields that. So good job by Nico there. Again, you get a 4th and 2 stop by the defense here. Tipped ball. Tim Settle. Big old number 98 there, the right defensive tackle. And I thought this was interesting because it was 4th and 2, 4-man rush. Keep everybody back up in coverage. You have no Derek Stingley. Tim Settle gets a tip. So good play there. Maybe I would have advised blitzing there, but I would have been wrong. They didn't need to blitz. And then I don't even want to show this, man. This is just so unlike him. I certainly don't want to watch it 7 times in a row. Let's watch the protection. 4-man rush, ball comes out quick. You got everybody stacked up there to the left. Boop. Oh, God. You know what, man? If he hadn't gone, I'm not faulting him for going for the hit right there, but it's just a great job getting that in there. I know I always get Jaguars fans in here who wonder, hey, Seth, how come you're being so biased towards the Texans? Because the Texans didn't quit on me the way the Jaguars did, all right? The Jaguars, a lot of people in Jacksonville don't realize that I'm a full-time radio host in Houston. The Jaguars put me up in the expansion draft. They said, we don't want you here anymore. The city of Houston embraced me so I could come here for these fantastic moments like this. And that's all there is to it, okay? So just deal with it. You guys got Loggeman. You got Bucky Brooks. You got some really good media guys there. I'm not one of them. I'm a Houston Texan. Although, I mean, if I wanted to, I guess in the press conference, I might as well since CJ's wearing the, oh, are you asking, am I going to get mad about CJ wearing the Yankees cap? Today I am. Preseason was one thing. Should I do this? Is this acceptable? No, it would not be to Texans fans if I'm going to sit here on a Houston Texans podcast and wear my Jacksonville Jaguars helmet. That shit's getting a little. It was cute in the preseason, but I personally don't care. I personally don't care about whether athletes wear different hats or anything, but it's like, okay, you're the franchise quarterback, and you've already seen that there's people in the fan base that get genuinely upset by it because they care deeply about sports. They care deeply enough about sports to the tune where athletes themselves make millions of dollars, and then afterwards they can go on and have a full-time job talking about sports because the fans who pay our salary, a lot of them really, really give a shit about stuff like this. So, if you're the franchise quarterback, whether it's dumb or not, just you just don't have to do it. You don't have to do it when you're 0-3. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. The given up touchdown here. Let's first go to this. Let's do the. We had the Nico fumble. I don't think I have the Brian Thomas Jr. reception. We have to show the Brian Thomas Jr. reception that led to the given up touchdown. Here we go. Brian Thomas Jr. coming up here. This is interesting because obviously this seals the game for them for all intents and purposes, except for D'Amico making a good decision, possibly spurred on by Todd Bowles. So if you watch at the end of this play, right at the very end, Kamari Lassiter looking back like, you bros, where were you? At first, I thought it was going to be Kalen Bullock. You see Kalen Bullock just trailing right there at the 40-yard line. But if you go all the way back to the beginning of the play, Kalen's up in the box, and I don't know, it looked like he might have been manned up on the, I don't know. So I don't know if it's the outside cornerback there or not. I don't know who Kamari Lassiter was hoping he was going to get more help from, but it didn't look like there was supposed to be anybody over the top on that one. Defensive backs helped me out again on that one. And then let's go to, let's see. So we had the Brian Thomas Jr. reception, and then they go and they definitely 100% just allowed the touchdown on this, which I'm cool with at that point. You know, Todd Bowles probably did it last week. It makes sense right here. Less than 2 minutes in the game, and just watch Alshire. Alshire just kind of like, all right. Watch Bullock, and then especially, there at the end. I've never been instructed to give up a touchdown before. I don't know what the proper etiquette is. It seems like you kind of are supposed to make it look kind of like a real effort. I don't know. And then you get the Ursery at the end here. Josh Hines-Allen, again, just gets a chunk of it. Let's watch. I mean, again, it's 3rd and 1. You got to score a touchdown here. What are you gonna? Do you help out Ursery at the expense of? I don't know. There's times that I think that CJ maybe could have been quicker to check it down to Marks. Now that Marks is done, Marks had a really nice reception there on that final drive. It's hard for me to find fault with CJ right this moment when everything else is going so awry. The only question I would have is, as Archuleta pointed out, man, there's not a lot open. There's only tight window stuff. If CJ right now is a little bit more hesitant to test some of the tight windows or not, and again, I'm hesitant to even label that as a take or anything. I'm just asking the question: are we seeing CJ make fewer attempts at tight window throws, and is it because he just doesn't trust his receivers? He doesn't feel comfortable in this offense, whatever it might be. There's just a whole lot to be upset about right now. I don't know, and there's going to be angry people. Houston fans care. What the fuck are you talking about? The concept can't be that foreign to you. What are you talking about? What? Dave, are you talking to me? Oh, no, you have to be talking to somebody else. Okay. All right. Sorry, man. Let's see. Yeah, if somebody in the comments was claiming that Houston fans don't care, like, no. There are a lot of people. I got a lot of. I was kind of surprised by it because personally, I don't think about it all that much. It's like young guys and their fashion choices or whatever. I just don't think about it. I was kind of surprised by how many people messaged me or just publicly just tweeted at me or anything about like how really angry they were about him wearing a Mariners cap. So that's where I am, and I don't get offended by it. I do understand why some people get offended by it. I don't get offended by it, but I think that as a quarterback, you got to be conscious of stuff like that. You got to be, especially when your team's struggling like this. It's the last thing in the world I think that really, really matters right now. If the offense was humming, if they were scoring 28, if it was Daniel Jones right now, you know what? Daniel Jones could walk in wearing a Giants/Yankees / Rangers cap, and I think everybody would be cool with it. They'd be like, all right, whatever. Hey, Daniel Jones, what are you going to do? They hardly ever punt. I'm going to go eat a tuna melt, and I'm going to be back with the press conferences later. So again, to be clear, I don't know. I'm not clear about anything. I can't tell you anything, counselor. I don't know.